Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and I'm back today with a shape die cut scene. I'm going to show you how I made this card you see in the photo. Now, all of these pieces that I'll be using on my card today, the die cut pieces for the scene, I actually created them in the Craft and Desert Divas new release highlight for this garden accessories die set. Now, I will link that video down below in the description box. It is just a complete rundown of the garden borders die set. It gives all the measurements, how to put everything together, so you can go check that out if you're interested. So what I'm doing is I'm using the Stitch Circles die set from Craft and Desert Divas, and I went ahead and used the large scallop circle to die cut a piece of white cardstock. Then I used the smaller, just plain circle with stitching on it to die cut a piece of vellum, a piece of white cardstock, and 2 pieces of green cardstock. Now on those green pieces, I'm using the grass border die from the Outdoor Landscape 2 die set, and I went ahead and just die cut 2 grassy borders that fit that circle perfectly. Now for the vellum piece, I'm using the Stitch Scalloped die set from Craft and Desert Divas. I cut it once with the large scallop, and then I kind of thought it looked a little bit like a butt. So I went ahead and used the very small scallop and die cut that. The die itself does not look like that. It's just the way I placed it looked a little off. So I went ahead and re-die cut that. But once I had that the way I wanted it, I'm going to go ahead and put that vellum piece down onto the circle cards, or the white circle cardstock piece. I just used a thin strip of adhesive right at the very bottom and just adhered that down. It's going to lift away from the white cardstock piece a little bit, but that's okay. It gives it a little bit more interest and depth. Now for the largest grass border, the tallest one I should say, I went ahead and put some adhesive on the back of it. This is the 1/8 inch score tape, and then I'll just put that down on top of the vellum piece. And now it's time to bring out all those die cuts I made and start putting a few of them finally together and making this die cut scene. So with the wheelbarrow, I want this wheelbarrow to be full of all these gardening supplies. I'm using glossy accents to hold everything together. The first thing I put down is the little garden, or the watering can. I put that on the right hand side of the wheelbarrow. I also glued 2 of those terracotta pots together that I made, the smaller one and the larger one. I glued them together. They are empty. I'm not going to put anything in them. Then I have 2 loose dirt pieces that actually go inside the pot. I'm just going to layer those up inside the wheelbarrow to make it look like the wheelbarrow is full of dirt. Now the wheelbarrow would make a great planter as well. So if you wanted to put some dirt pieces in there, or the garden border die set dirt piece in there, and then fill it up with some flowers, that would be really cute too. But today I'm just going to be doing all the little accessories that go with this set. Then I'm going to be putting in the little shovel and spade, and then the little rake as well. And also those 2 terracotta pots that I glued together. Now this is fun to just play around with and kind of find the placement you want, how tall you want everything to stick out, where you want everything to go. Just make sure that when you're putting these down, they all kind of stay within that wheelbarrow shape. So you don't want anything sticking out the very front of it or the very back of it. Make sure it looks like it's actually stuck down in there. And excuse the background noise. It is mowing day today in my neighborhood, I'm guessing. We're expecting rain tonight. So I think everybody's trying to get their yards mowed before that happens. So the final piece is that little rake, and I'm just going to stick it right down on the right hand side of the wheelbarrow where I had just a little bit of an empty space where that handle to the watering can was. Now I'm just going to put something heavy. This is just a bottle of multi-medium or gel matte that I have on hand. I just put that right down on top to hold everything in place while that glue sets up. And there you can see I've got a little wheelbarrow that is full of gardening supplies ready to go on my card. Now I'm going to be popping this up with some fun foam and double-sided adhesive. I am going to make sure that this goes over all of those pieces, so just in case the glue comes loose, they still stay in place. Glossy accents more than likely isn't going to come loose when it's connected paper to paper. You've got a pretty good bond there, but just in case, I put it over those. Now I also have these 2 little daffodils that I made that I tried to fit on the front of my card. I didn't like putting them. I played around with the placement a little bit. I didn't like anywhere I was putting them, so I'll show you what I decided to do. And also, those little orange pieces in the center are actually meant for the wheelbarrow's handles. When I first got this die set, I had a little bit of a brain fart, and I thought they were centers for the flowers, so that's how I put it together. But they are not. They are wheelbarrow handles, so just a little FYI. Now I went ahead and put together those two little daffodils that I made and tried to make them work. It just wasn't working out. So I'll show you what I did with them because I didn't want them to go to waste. I like to use all the die pieces that I create. Even if I don't end up using them on one card, I put them in a little bowl on my desk and just save them off to the side. And then I'll just pull bits and pieces here and there and just put them onto cards that I'm making. Saves me a little bit of time in die cutting new pieces, and nothing goes to waste that way. Now I went ahead and on that scalloped white circle, I put that fun foam and double-sided adhesive on the back of it and put that down in the top center of an A2 white top folding card base. And then for the scene, the circle scene, I'm just going to use glossy accents to make sure that it's down on all the different sides. I'm using the liquid glue here. I'll go ahead and squirt some of that in the center as well. Then I'll place that right down in the circle or the center of the scallop circle that's already on the card. And I'll just put that gel mat right on top of there just to hold everything in place while it dries. Now, like I said before, whenever I have die cuts that I cut out for that I think I'm going to be using on a card and I don't end up using them, I throw them in a bowl. They're on the side of my desk and I have them on hand for cases like this. I went ahead and pulled out a sun and a cloud I had grabbed, or I had die cut for another card. It didn't end up working out that I needed them, but I kept them. And I'm going to go ahead and place them on this card. So I put the sun and the cloud together on one little the top right hand corner. And then I have another little single cloud on the left hand side. Pop those up with some fun foam and double-sided adhesive. And I left those hanging off of that scene. So it kind of extends the scene out, gives it a little bit more interest and just a little bit different look. Now on the inside of the card, I'm actually going to use those daffodils here. I've gotten into decorating the inside of the cards as well. And I thought these were the nice little touch in the bottom right hand corner. I'm just going to place those down, place that jar right on top and let these set up with that glue. And then it's a nice little surprise whenever you open it up. Now on the front of the card, I'm going to be using this Hello Sentiment from the Simply Said stamp set. I've just used some black dye ink and put that down in the bottom right hand corner. Now I wasn't quite sure where I wanted this stamp to go. So here's a little trick. Before you stamp it down and then decide you don't like the placement of it, grab your backing sheet off your stamp set, just the clear acetate, stamp it down onto that, and then you've got a nice little guide and you can see straight through that, see where you want it to go. It wipes right off. If it dries on there, grab an alcohol wipe and it'll wipe right off. And then you know where you want the placement of your sentiment. That has saved me multiple times from stamping it down, deciding I don't like it, and then there's nothing I can do about it. So here I stamped it in the bottom right hand corner. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the special delivery stamp set. This sentiment is from that stamp set. And I'm inking it up with some black dye ink, that same black dye ink. And then I'll stamp it right down next to those flowers, right off to the left of them. And I thought hope this puts a smile on your face sentiment was the perfect little addition to finish off this card. And even though this does have so much dimension on it, I'll show you in just a moment, it flattens down very nicely because there's not a whole lot of fun foam behind it. It flattens down really nicely and will be able to go through the mail without any trouble. That finishes off the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to leave you with a few pictures of the finished card. On the left side of your screen, you'll see a few different links you can click on. The top will take you to a video that you might enjoy watching next. The bottom left will take you to the supply list for this card. And the bottom right will subscribe you to my channel if you aren't already. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and happy crafting!